the game tonight is domination. I know it's warming up, but I hope you all dressed appropriately for the weather. I saw Shoddy had them apple-bottom jeans on today. But as always, it's a great day to be a Blue Jay. I know it was real sloppy out, so I hope you wore your boots with the fur to school today. We have no activities tonight, but I'd like to let you know the whole club was looking at our wrestling team this weekend as they walked away conference champs. Varsity regional wrestling meet, and our bowling team has a conference meet today versus Norwalk. We're cheering for those pins to hit the floor. Good morning, Blue Jays, and next thing you know, it's hump day. So presenting today at wrestling, and she's about to get low on the other girl and pin her. I've only been a mom to this chick for 2 days, but I'm already ready to retire and put on my baggy sweatpants. Tomorrow's dress up day is PJ day, so make sure you get your Reeboks with the straps. Garrett Von Steen, Lauren Fox, Braden Parks, and Emma Lihs gave FFA's booty a big slap and were able to achieve their Iowa degree. Our activities tonight include our girls hitting the floor with basketball versus Newton at Bonner for our junior high. Good morning, Blue Jays, and next thing you know, it's already Friday. Our activities include bowling state qualifying meet at Oskaloosa. I hope all you shotties got low at formal this weekend and enjoyed the football game that interrupted my usher show.
In this episode of The Rant, we take a look at recent sports highlights, spend some time with Scholastic Award winners, and check out individual speech districts.
Hello Blue Jays, I'm Alec Hannigator.
And I'm Charlie Smith. Welcome back to The Rant.
Wrestling qualified a school record 10 guys for a state wrestling tournament. Braden Rulli was on hand to capture it all.
On Wednesday, February 14th, the Blue Jay wrestling team was sent off to the state tournament. The 10 qualifiers for this year were Kobe Fizer, Reed Foster, Matthew McCray, Connor Fizer, Landon Corey, Nolan Fellers, Jack Lewis, Jordan Ryle, Brayton Gipple, and Andy Hockett. Reed, Connor, Nolan, Jack, and Jordan all had first-round byes, but on their first match of the day, they all won their matches, moving them on to the quarterfinals. Kobe and Matt both won their first round, but lost in their second, and Landon, Brayton, and Andy all lost their first round, moving them to the consolation side. On Thursday, Kobe started off the day strong by pinning his first opponent and then going on to win by major decision in his second. Matt followed closely by pinning both of his opponents. Reed lost by major decision, while Jack and Jordan both lost by points in the quarters, moving them on to the consolation side. Landon lost by fall, while Brayton and Andy lost by points, concluding their seasons. Connor faced off against a tough opponent, but ended up pulling out the win 5-3, and Nolan won by major decision, moving them on to the semifinals. Friday was a rough day for the Jays. Kobe, Reed, Matt, and Jack all lost their first round matches by points, ending their season. Jordan won his first round but lost the second, leaving him to wrestle for 7th. Connor ended up losing by points, and Nolan got pinned, sending them to the consolation semis. Saturday was filled with positive results and thrills. Jordan won his match by fall within a minute of the first period, giving him 7th. Connor won by points in his match 3-2 in the third period, landing him in the 5th place spot. Nolan had a hard-fought battle that went into overtime, where he earned 2 points on a takedown, giving him the win, securing him 3rd place in 150 pounds. Overall, this season for the wrestling team was a great one. Connor Fizer and Reed Foster both obtained and surpassed their 100th win of their careers. Most of the wrestlers on the team were ranked top 10 for multiple weeks, and on top of that, the Jays were conference and district champions. This has been Braden Rulli reporting for The Rant.
2 members of the boys bowling team competed at this year's state tournament. Georgia Steeples has more.
On February 19th, Colin Britt and Alex Fraser competed for state bowling in Waterloo at Cadillac Lanes. In Alex Fraser's first game, he ended with a score of 165, and by the end he had a 516, which means he was not able to qualify for finals. State consisted of 3 individual games for each bowler, and the top 8 moved on to the finals. Colin ended the individual games with a series of 702, putting him in first place overall and sending him to the bracket play, making him the first boy in school history to do so.
I've been bowling for around 8 years now. This is the first time that I've ever gone to individual state. We went to team state about 2 years ago, so my sophomore year. But I think individual, it was pretty fun. First that I know of is first time that a boy for Bondurant Bowling has ever gone to the bracket, which I thought that was pretty cool. Even though I just got 8th place, which isn't the greatest where I thought I was going to place, but, it's in the bracket, so I can't be too mad about it. And then also Blue Jay Bowling, it's been here for so long, and I've just loved it for every second that I've been here. All my friends that I've made along the way have just made it so much better. And to all my teachers that taught me and everything, and all the coaches, I appreciate all of them. And I just thank them for all their hard work and everything that they put behind the game.
This has been Georgia Steeples reporting for The Rant.
Boys basketball is going back to state. Cooper Cannon has highlights from an exciting playoff run.
The boys basketball team is running it back to state.
On Monday, the defending 3A champs returned to Waukee High School for a sub-state final and upsetted number 1 seed ADM to return to the state tournament. But how did they get there? Let's rewind things a bit and take a look. In their first round game, it was a battle of the Blue Jays when Perry came to town. Senior Tanner Bergeron hit 8 3-pointers and junior Cole Miller tied a school record with 16 assists, and our boys cruised to an 88-57 victory. In the sub-state semis, the Blue Jays hosted the Creston Panthers. Junior Hudson McConnell came out on fire and scored 18 points, and Bergeron lit up the stat sheet again with 6 3-pointers and 28 points. It was another short night for the starters, and the Jays rolled 68-33. In the sub-state final, the Jays were matched up against conference rival ADM. The Tigers won both matchups this season, but the Jays were out to prove that it's hard to beat a team 3 times in the same season. The game was a close one all night long, and the Jays leaned hard on their star players as 4 starters played every minute of the game and hit big shots down the stretch. Bergeron drained 6 more 3-pointers and scored 25 points, and Miller went wild in the second half to end with 20. But similar to the state championship game last year, the game came down to 3 throws. After the Jays struggled to make it in the first half, Miller and senior Nick Font stepped up to the line in the final seconds and drained them all. ADM had one final crack at it, but the Jays' defense held, and now they are headed back to state for the 2nd consecutive year.
It feels good, Last year I didn't really get to experience the well too much, but this year I was really a part of it and got to lead us here. And so why not go back to back again with a state champ?
We're going back. Feels great, and can't wait for everyone now to get a good experience under their belt, and it'll be fun all around.
Putting all the work in, we knew they counted us out when Reed got hurt, and him just staying a big part of that, helping us stay focused, and feels great to be back.
I'm just proud of everyone. All my teammates, all my friends, I'm just so proud of them.
The 6-seed Blue Jays will play 3-seed MLC Floyd Valley on Tuesday at 5:30 at Wells Fargo Arena and are now just 3 games away from running it all the way back.
This has been Cooper Cannon reporting for The Rant.
Scholastic Art and Writing Awards have been handed out, and several Blue Jays are recipients. Lily Harper has that story.
Most years, Bondurant Farrar wins several Scholastic Art and Writing Awards, proving that we have one of the best art programs in the state of Iowa. BFHS students recently received 17 Scholastic Art Awards, including 3 gold keys, 5 silver keys, and 9 honorable mentions. The Scholastic Art Awards are the nation's longest-running and most prestigious recognition program for creative teens. Carissa Duden, Cheyenne Grader, Casey Van Lanningham, Alexis Woodyard, and Addison Marvin all won silver keys for their art pieces. Marvin also received 2 gold keys. One of her pieces was named Wrath. Her other was titled The Two Ladies Around the Block and Their Virulent Stew.
I don't really put much thought into it. I kind of just draw whatever I want, or sometimes I'll have a dream about it and I'll sketch it out on paper a couple times until it turns out how I like it. But starting out, they don't usually have a lot of meaning before I talk about it with Mr. Vandehar.
Max Fick has entered the Scholastic Awards for many years, and this year he won a gold key for poetry. His poetry piece was called Heartland. Here is an excerpt from Max Fick's poem, Heartland. My grandmother has no clocks in her house of cowhide and clay. She cleans 40 hotel rooms, dressing them in her best calf skin, then sits alone at the diner writing cowboy poetry to God.
All 4 years, I've kind of leaned on English teachers to kind of be like, hey, is this garbage or not? So I started out with Perg, and then it also ended up with Perg nearly, but this year Info really helped me. AP Lit was an extremely helpful class for this because we actually work on poetry and we do that kind of stuff, so I kind of learned more of the structure and the style and how to make it not look like a 9th grader wrote it, because sometimes it feels like that.
For more information on all the Scholastic winners, check out the Bondurant for Art Instagram page. This has been Lily Harper reporting for The Rant.
Last time, we brought you a story of large group speech performers. Now, Libby Huff recaps individual speech districts.
Bondurant for Art hosted this year's individual speech districts. Though we have had extracurricular speech for decades, this is the first time Bondurant for Art has been large enough to host a competition. Students from 21 high schools in the metro area, including Ankeny, Boone, Ballard, and Ames, came early in the morning to perform to land a spot at state. Since October, Fine Arts Booster Club, coaches, and students have been preparing all that goes into putting on the contest. Over 80 volunteers started at 7 a.m. last Saturday, getting traveling schools checked in, setting up the classrooms, preparing the judges, and assisting in all other areas.
So we always go to other schools for these kinds of things, and it's nice because we get to see the other schools, but finally getting to experience it at our own school on our own grounds and knowing everything that we know is really cool. It's a cool opportunity for other students and other schools to be able to see our school and kind of get a better sense of not only who we are as a speech program, but also what our community is about.
Head speech coach, Ms. Facey, was in charge of organizing the event with IHSSA. She estimated around $2,000 was earned from the festivities, funds that will go right back into the speech program. Hopes and plans for hosting more competitions in the future are already underway. This has been Libby Huff reporting for The Rant.
Hello everybody and welcome back to The Joy of Painting with yours truly, Bob Ross. We're going to paint some water, okay? Just kind of get it on there, okay? There's no mistakes, just happy accidents. And I don't really know what a tree looks like, so I'm just kind of going to guess. We got some red in there. It's okay, it gives it character. The brush adds very nice texture. That's what we need, people. I've actually never seen a mountain, so very vibrant, black, like my soul. You just kind of like gotta really beat it on there, right? Beat, beat, beat. Look at that color. And once it's clean, you kind of beat the devil out of it. You gotta make sure it's dry, so if you gotta like fan it. It might look a little green, but it's not meant to be green. Beat it, like this. See that texture on our sun? This is the brightest sun I've ever seen in my life. I don't really understand color theory. Yeah, that looks about right. Yes, there's our bark. And I love hippos, so I'm going to add a hippo. Pretty! Look how pretty that hippo is. Really get into it. Look at that bird. I love blue jays with everything in me. And one thing I like to do with every single painting is I like to add me, because I'm self-centered. Bob, for Bob Ross. I'm going to name it Birdie, Birdie, Where Are You?
Thanks for watching our show.
Follow us on all of our socials at Blue Jay Digital for all the latest updates.
See you next time.